Hello, this is very important. Everything on this video is going to be spoilerful. I will not have a spoiler-free section.
Yep, it's 40 minutes past midnight, and I have just arrived home after spending 3 hours at this theater, at a movie theater, watching Dune. Oh, all right. I went with a friend of mine. And we were talking about our expectations for this adaptation. Neither of us has read the book. And we were just saying, it's probably going to be an average movie. It's going to be average. Nothing too special. But fun! But we are not going to get out of the movie theater amazed, perplexed. Like this, I spent most of the time just going, oh my god, this is not very productive. All I want to say is that we rated the movie 9.5. 9.5. 9.5. 9.5. 9.5. And now I want to read the book. So I'm going to order it online right now. You guys, I was 2 hours into the movie. I did not realize that at that point that 2 hours had passed, and I was just, oh wow, I haven't finished this film, and I want to rewatch it again. I want to go back to the movie theater and rewatch it. When is the second movie out? I want to read this. Oh no,
Just watching TV, and I was changing the channels, right? And Hollywood was passing Dune, the first adaptation. I was enjoying myself watching it, and then it crossed the point where this year's adaptation stopped, and I don't want to be spoiled for the book more than I already am, so I stopped watching. That's the update. The book is probably gonna get here next week. I already have a reading buddy. I'm just excited.
this is Dune. Let's just. It's not working properly. So beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm just beyond excited. I have to wait for my reading buddy to get it. It just looks way too good.
Today's the day.
Today's the day!
Ooh. I am very excited to start this. I'm afraid of finding it boring. Let's pray to all the gods that I don't find the writing boring. Hi, I am here to say that I'm 70 pages into Dune, and I'm enjoying it so much. I was not expecting to like it. I was honestly thinking that I would find the writing boring because it's an old book. It's an old science fiction book. And I thought, this is not going to work for me, but I'm going to push through it and read this goddamn thing. I'm loving it. Oh my god, I'm loving it. Paul is a bit too young. Phew. So yeah, Paul is a bit too young. However, I just imagine him as Timothée Chalamet, and it's fine. He's not 15 years old anymore. Honestly, I'm thankful I watched the movie first, because the imagery is much more exciting if I have that background in mind already. More stuff. Ooh! So just from these 70 pages that I read, I can already tell that there have been some alterations. For example, the Arconans that I thought were Arconans that attacked the Atreides settling in Arakan are not Arconan warriors. Those guys are actually something else that I cannot remember right now what their name is, but they are fanatic soldiers that fight for the Emperor, not the Arconan house. And these people come from a planet called Secondus something. And because it's such a harsh planet, everyone there knows how to fight, and the only way they know of dealing with stuff is with violence. And the Emperor found a way to turn those people's purpose towards himself. This means that they are literally just fanatic soldiers that fight for the Emperor and his wishes. And so Leto Atreides, the father, thinks he can do the same thing, but with the Fremen. He wants to turn Arakan people into his own military fanatic force, which is way more twisted than just what the movie made it seem like. In the movie, they just made it look like he was handed this land, and now he wants to get to know the people. No. He wants to know the people in order to manipulate them into mindlessly giving their lives for him. That is way more interesting, in my opinion. There's some other stuff, but this is ooh, yes! No. This was the last thing I read last night. Paul is a mentat. They didn't even explain to us what a mentat was in the movie. Basically, there's this, when the guild comes to Caladan to ask if Leto Atreides would accept Arrakis, there was this guy, kind of short, that... Ooh, how do you say this? Like, he turned his eyes back, and his eyes were completely white. I thought that meant that there's this race of people that are like basically supercomputers. Anyone can be someone like that. Those are mentats, and basically you are trained since very little to be a mentat. You learn a lot of things, and you are not aware that you are being trained to be a mentat. And so on the last chapter that I read, Leto went to Paul and said, you know, your mother wanted me to be the one to tell you this, but you have mentat capabilities. And Paul is like, what? Mentat? Me? No, I'm not. No, I can't. No. and his father continues, no, how what? His father's mentat also agrees that you have mentat capabilities. And so Paul starts saying, no. For me to be a mentat, I would have had to be trained for this all my life without knowing. I see. And it made me laugh, but at the same time I was like, oh my god, Paul has the capabilities to know, like, to just be very, very smart. I don't think he's very, very smart yet. He's a bit ignorant of certain things. So yeah, not only Paul is a Bene Gesserit, he's also a mentat. Those are very two good combinations, if you ask me. I'm just excited. I am excited. I'm gonna get ready and my hair might be different in a week. Let's just say that. Also, something real quick that I forgot to mention. Why did they not mention that the spice is also called melange? Because melange is a very nice name. And I don't actually know yet which group of people uses which terms, but let's say that the Fremen call spice melange. It would be like a nice difference, a nice cultural difference that the movie could incorporate. I'm not sure if that's the case with the book yet. All I know is that spice is also called melange. But I guess it would make sense for the outside worlders to call it spice, while the people that live with the spice and see it as something that basically has to do with their religion, they would not call it just spice, they would have a name for it, melange. I'm not sure if that's correct. This is me just theorizing about the terms in the book. But yeah, I wonder why they didn't include that in the movie. Also, I have some tabs. Yeah. It's 1:30 in the morning. I have some updates for you. First, let's start with the things that don't matter at all. I got some cheap nail extensions. I painted one hand. The other one is barely holding itself in. This nail has fallen 3 times already. I've been using it for less than 48 hours, so worth it, worth the money. I'm honestly surprised that the other ones kept so well, because I've washed my hair and everything with them on and they are still here. So yeah. Oh, also, pajama look. Ooh, I'm a fashionista. Continuing on Dune, first update. Page 102. Stilgar has appeared and spat. He spitted on the table. He spat on the table. Yeah, he spat on the table. And yeah, that scene happened. Iconic. Great. I loved it. One thing about the Chris knives that was not included in the most recent adaptation, I honestly cannot... I paid very little attention to the first ever adaptation of Dune. I was doing some other stuff while I was watching it, so I don't really remember much. But, so, yeah, let's just say every time I mention the movie, I am mentioning the movie. What was I going to say? Oh no. Chris Knives. Yeah. The reason you cannot, like, show the Chris Knives to just anyone is because once you see a Chris knife, you start being Fremen property, and you cannot leave Arrakis. I mean, the Fremen will not let you leave Arrakis unless they give you permission. So when that lady gave the Chris knife to Jessica, she was like, you cannot leave now. I don't know why she did it, but she did that. And more stuff. Yeah, I have 5 tags because that's what the package gave me. I used them all because I had them all. The only one you probably cannot see is the yellow because I only have 1 yellow. It's very, yeah, you cannot see it. But it's right after the green one. Yeah. So, the yellow one is for stuff I don't like. That was when Leto was a terrible husband. Very disrespectful. I did not like that. Yellow is for important plot points. Blue is for every passage from, I want to say the Bible, but it's not the Bible. It's the Muad'Dib manual or comments about the Muad'Dib's family, Muad'Dib's manual for children, from the Princess Irulan. Every time she has something here, I tab it in because I may want to go back and reread it, and because those are basically our chapters, because by the index I would build just with book 1, 2, 3, and then the appendixes. So the first chapter would be 215 pages. And yeah, no. Orange is for any dream that Paul has, and green is for world building. Sometimes world building and plot points. So green and pink. So green and pink kind of overlap. So I don't put 2 tabs. I kind of just, okay, this is absolutely some foreshadowing for something, but this foreshadowing is being made in the form of world building. So, world building tab. I did not read anything yesterday. So I started reading, well, still yesterday night. It's just that it's 1 a.m. now. So it's already today. And yesterday was yesterday. And today is today. Yeah, obviously. So I'm gonna go read some more. Hope that this nail doesn't fall off during sleep. And yeah, it looks so nice. Also, I've been reading it by myself. My buddy reader hadn't picked it up yet because she's kind of in a reading slump. So she got a book. She didn't start it. She started it yesterday. So the 3rd day of my reading journey through Dune. The day where I didn't read a single page. We are fine. It's completely fine. I'm out of breath. What the I'm sober. I'm just hyper at 1 a.m. Ooh. I want some coffee. The decaf, obviously, with some milk and I really want it. That would be really nice. I should go get myself some. Wanna come with me? Yes, that's why this is a reading vlog. You get to see me having coffee at 2 a.m. At this point, it must be 2 a.m. No, 1:20. Oh, oof. Cat cup vibes. The wheels on the bus go round. I should be having some calming tea. Not on the menu today. Just ran out of greens. I'll just steal these greens. I have gigantic ass nails. How can I not? Okay. Another day has passed where I have not read a single word of my book. It's almost 1 a.m. I just realized I did not make caffeine. This is full-on coffee. Yeah. So now is the time. So I am going to go read Dune. I have passed the 100-page mark. Finally, I have been reading very slowly, also very quickly. They are both painted. And I have taken another shower, and this nail is still on me. So, tube nail extensions rock. Because the lighting is terrible, I will not linger here. I'll give you an update in the morning. Or should I just talk to you in the morning? No, I will. Let's look. I finished part 1. The 10th scene in the book reveals way more stuff than the 10th scene in the movie. Like, goddamn. That actually surprised me. The Baron is disgusting. And, before the attack, we had a dinner party. That was my favorite part until now. I'll maybe talk more in the morning. I'll continue to read. So maybe tomorrow I'll have more to say. I'm sorry, I keep only filming this stuff at night. And then we have lighting like this. This background, I'm sorry. Alright, let's start where I left off. I don't remember. Nice. But I know what I want to say. My favorite scene up until now. It was a thing that was not on the movie. And I can understand it not being on a movie, honestly. If it was a TV series, I would like it to exist. But I don't want to say it would be boring, because it was an amazing scene. However, I don't know how it would translate into a TV screen. Yes. So it was an amazing scene. I thought it was very cool, at least. We were dining with Huracan merchants, not Fremen. I only recently, by that I mean 2 days ago, realized that you can be Huracan and not be Fremen. All Fremen are Huracan. Not all Huracan are Fremen. We were following the minds of Jessica, Paul, and Leto, but Leto was not that interesting. Jessica and Paul. Jessica is my favorite character. Oh my god, I love Jessica. Jessica has Bene Gesserit training, because we all know she's a Bene Gesserit. But what does that mean? What does that mean? Basically, it's not because you're a Bene Gesserit that you can use the voice. Also, the voice is not something that everyone knows the Bene Gesserit can do. Is that the Bene Gesserit have mastered the art of getting to understand an individual to the point where you can just manipulate them. I would say that's what that is. You can control them because you know exactly how they are going to react to certain stimuli. And so you just have to find the right tone for each individual person, and you can make them do whatever you want. It's not like a power that runs on that Bene Gesserit line. No, anyone can study it. It's just that the Bene Gesserit make sure that only very specific people know about it. So, on the line of getting to understand people, they also study how to identify whenever someone has a choreography in place. Choreography. To move the conversation to certain points that they want so they can put you in a hard place. And Jessica is watching how everyone on that table behaves. And she is just observing people. It's such a fun thing to read because we are on the mind of people that can understand a lot of what's happening based on people's just tics and the way they look at someone while they say something, and that other person immediately goes and, oh yes, and this, and I cannot explain this correctly, but it's amazing to read it. It honestly was amazing. We also had the ecologist there and some other people, and you could clearly tell that everyone was scared of the ecologist. I really want to know more about that character, but honestly, we are at the point, I am currently at the point, where in the movie, Kynes has been eaten by the worm. Are you going to tell me that Fremen travel inside worms? Is this like a thing that it's a thing? Is Kynes not dead? Is she inside the worm alive? Honestly, I would buy that. We don't really know much about Kynes. No one knows. So what in the world is going on? From the movie, I had gathered that he was important to the Fremen, like some type of leader. That actress did such a good job at playing Kynes. Honestly, she really did. She looked like a main character. Kudos. And it was honestly kind of inconclusive. The end of that dinner, we got to know which people were not on our side and which people were possibly on our side. But we got to understand that when Arrakis can be fit for humans to live without being constantly trying to reuse their body's humidity in order to reconsume it because there's no water anywhere. You can change that. If only you find a way to do it, you can. Is there enough water? Whenever the Duke or Jessica or Paul asked him directly, if we can manipulate the Arrakis environment, do we have enough water to make sure it's going to sustain itself? Can we feed animals and plants water and have it be sustainable? Because Paul is a truth teller. He can say whenever people are lying or telling the truth. If Kynes responded with, well, I'm not sure, but my studies prove that there might be a way to make it work. Paul could absolutely tell that that was half a lie, and that he damn well knew that's possible. You can do that in Arrakis. He has the research. It's just that no one else that was in power ever tried to do it. They were always just so invested in spice that they never saw what was even possible to do beyond just harvesting spice. It was great. I love that scene. Next, we had the first time that the voice was used. Jessica used it on the Mentat. What's his name? Hawat, because he is very convinced that she is the traitor. And so, in order to show him that she could do whatever she wanted, there was no need to align with the Harkonnens, she used the voice on him. He still believes that she's a witch and he despises her. That solved nothing. Nothing. Then we had the whole attack scene. Leto is dead. Oh yeah. The Duke has captured a boy that has very pretty eyes, like that boy Paul Atreides. So sedate him, because I don't want to have a fight tonight. Alright, I mean, I am disgusted. So now we are following Jessica and Paul going through the desert. The tent scene. The tent scene is way, way more exciting in the book because we have more information. We actually get some plot twists. They are Harkonnen themselves. Paul doesn't just see one future, he sees a lot of futures, in the sense that he can tell which decisions have to be made and which one of them would lead to certain endings. And in one of them, he meets the Baron, he says, "Hello, grandfather." Because Jessica is daughter of the Baron. She is the Baron's daughter. And that was a plot twist. Just remembered something. We had some nice thought processes. So the Fremen don't want people to realize what's under the sand. We don't know what it is, but we were able to rationalize what's happening with Arakan politics. Is that politics? Kinda. And the Fremen are paying with spice to the guild, so the guild doesn't sell like these machines that let you perceive where water is underground. I have terrible memory, that's why I should just tell you everything right off the bat, but I can never find time, I'm sorry. We were able to understand also in the tent that the Fremen are way more technologically savvy than people give them credit to, because if you think of the steel suits and all the things that the Fremen developed, that's not something that people that are just cavemen can achieve. They just don't show us, they don't let us see their true power. It's a secret. Spice is addictive. If you start using spice, you cannot stop consuming spice because it will kill you. So that's why the guild members are so dependent on the spice that the Fremen give them. And if you ever want to leave Arrakis, you have to take Arrakis with you. You have to take the spice with you. Because you are literally, if you stop consuming spice, you die. You just do. It really was worth the money. This book was worth the money. This is going to be a pain in the ass to edit. So let's just pray that this makes sense. Oh no, my kids are messing with my stuff. Outfit of the day moment. It's cold. It's very cold. Hello. I am getting ready to leave the house. And what's happening is we are out of cat food. They still have some upstairs in their feeders, so they are just being whiny babies. But nonetheless, we need to go buy them some food. So it's the first time you are going to watch me go outside. Isn't that exciting? A little update on Dune. We are very close to the end. Like, extremely close. This stuff at the end with markers, those are the appendixes, so we are 2/3 done with this. I'm really enjoying it. Also, Shani is very irrelevant. I mean, compared to the movie, what I have seen of Shani is extremely irrelevant. Also, now that I'm here in the car, I know I have filmed the clip in the car before, so it's the second time you see me out of the house. This is shocking content. I can hear the cat. She's right there. Hello. She's a stray cat. She's a mother of all of our cats. Hello. I have a very small update to give you guys. Haven't touched it in 2 days. 2? 3. I haven't read anything in 3 days. Ow. I haven't read a single thing in 3 days. I don't know why. It's one of those things that you place your book on top of the table and you let it be there for days, even though you were enjoying yourself a lot. So I'm going to do some work this afternoon, and I think that maybe at night I'll be able to read. Everything is a mystery now. It's unknown territory for me. Did I tell you that the last thing that happened? Did I? Probably not. The last thing that happened in the book that I read was that trial thingy where Paul killed a Fremen. And it was the first time he killed a man. I'm almost out of tabs again. But yeah. So Paul just shed some tears for the guy that he killed, and I never thought about this, actually. Like, how often do Fremen cry? They don't, because that's wasting your body's moisture, and they don't have anything to reutilize that water, to reabsorb it. So they don't cry. So the fact that Paul cried over the person that he killed, that's very respectful. That's very honorable of him. I will not lie. It made me laugh, and then I thought, yeah, this makes sense actually. Why do I look green? I'm green. Look at my dog. My dog is amazing. It's late night again, and I had the time to read 8 pages today. So I'm going to read a bit more.
I'm lying, I cannot read. I still have some stuff for tomorrow's class. I forgot about it. I hope at least I can make 10 pages today, because I've already read 8. So I hope I can read 2 more. Just 2 more pages. I almost drank from this. Where is my coffee? Oh, you are leaning on it, so I cannot drink my decaf. Because of you guys. Because of you. No, it's because of me and my poor life choices. Oh. Jesus.
Very random update. You know how spice is also called melange? Well, I thought melange was a made-up word, and it sounded French, but in my opinion, a lot of English words, when you just look at them, they look like French words, in my opinion. For example, I never know how to say garage. When I look at the word garage, first I read garage, and then I go, wait, garage. So, yeah, I thought melange looked like a French word. But I thought, no, that's not it. But I was rearranging my teas. And this is... My grandparents bought this in England. And this is tea from China. And it says both in French and in English that this is a mixture of teas. And so in French it says thé mélange. And I thought, mélange? wait, mélange? So I came to Google Translate.
Mélange.
Mélange. What is that in English?
Mixture.
Mélange is mixture. The spice, the other word for spice, is mixture. A mixture of what? Now I'm intrigued again by the spice. What is it? It's a blend of what? It's a mixture of what? What is it? What is this? Also, I have a very small thing to say. I look so weird without my glasses on. Wait a second. So we are currently inside the siege, and we finally see the water that the Fremen have been gathering, and they are talking about, they know they will never see Arrakis as they want it to be, a land where no man must fight for water. They know they will never see it. They know their children will never see it. They know their grandchildren will never see it. But they know that what they are doing is the correct path. So their objective can be achieved. And so they live for it. Their life is dedicated to gather water, and they do not touch the water that they've gathered. They might be thirsty. They might not be able to drink because they don't have enough in their steel suits. They ask someone from their clan, but they do not touch that water because that water is there so they can one day be able to change the climate. And if they start drinking from it, then what's all of this hard work for, right? And it's very clear that that's the message that the writer was passing on. We need to be like these people, taking steps to help the planet, even though we are not going to see immediate results. There's a lot of talk about taking resources for granted, because our main characters took water for granted. And they, a lot of times, cannot perceive how much it's valued in Arrakis. Kitty Cat. 3 pages have passed since the last update, and Paul sings a love song to Shani, and his mother, Jessica, hears it. And after that, immediately after, Paul sat silently in the darkness, a single stark thought dominating his awareness. My mother is my enemy. She does not know it, but she is. She is bringing the jihad. She bore me, she trained me, she is my enemy. The jihad is that future that Paul saw in the movie. He also saw that in the book, but it's the very specific vision of the future that he had in the movie, where he's with Chani, blue eyes, and he's in a spaceship, and there's hundreds of fanatic soldiers fighting in his name. That's the jihad. And that's a future that he does not want to happen. He does not want that to happen. And he sees various paths that can lead to certain futures, but he doesn't realize exactly which decisions lead to which future. It's a bit hard for him to tell sometimes, and he was not aware that singing this specific song to Jenny and letting his mother hear that was part of the path that would lead to jihad. But right after he finished the song, he realized that he did it. He just took a step towards that direction. And in this specific path, his mother is his enemy. He just realized that. And look, Jessica is my favorite character. Don't do this to me. Don't. This book is so good. It gave me shivers. Ooh, Jessica, girl. What is that? Okay, let's continue with it. Stop fangirling. Also, immediately after that scene, we have a chapter break, and it has a quote from the Collected Sayings of Muad'Dib by Princess Irulan. And that quote is, "The concept of progress acts as a protective mechanism to shield us from the terrors of the future." And you know, one thing I have to say about this book, it's so well thought. The world building, for starters, the world building tabs are the ones that are constantly just disappearing. I use them all the time because it's such a well thought world. But not only that, he really has a message to pass. It's constantly everywhere. That's, we gotta change, right? Yes, we are making some progresses, but are they enough? Small progresses. It's something. But that's just something to make us feel good about the inevitable future that all of us know it's coming. We just don't want to see it. And I really did not pick this book up I mean, you saw how afraid I was of finding this boring. I did not expect to find a new favorite. I really didn't. But normally I don't want books to have something to say. I don't want to get out of a book with a message. But certain books do it so well that I will continue with the series. I will. Because I want more of this. I believe this is a piece of art. Every book is a piece of art. But it's like paintings. There are some paintings that I do not understand, but some people really see something in them. And books are the same, right? At least that's how I see them. And for me, this is a piece of art. I didn't expect to like this so much. I really didn't. Also, have you noticed that this is my color palette? Like, I'm always beige everywhere.
Oh my god, isso é um livro.
Novo.
Um livro novo da gêmeas.
Amazing!
Estás a falar?
Yes, girl!
Ok, adorei.
Hello, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Hi. Yeah, it was raining, so
Your hair is perfect.
I like it. So is yours. So small mini haul. I got Around the World in 80 Days in a nice cheap edition.
I got a Portuguese thriller called, what's the name? A Noite em que o Verão Acabou.
By João Turdo.
Hardcover.
Cheaper than the paperback. And
You don't see that every day.
we both got a very, very, very Christmassy mug.
Mine is here.
Yeah, it's the exact same mug. And we got some Zvin.
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. Yeah, for our bookshelves. I have 2 also.
It's fake.
Very, very fake.
Bye.
A very quick update on Dune. Also, new stuff. Wait, I have a cat playing with a tripod. Boo boo? Don't you dare! Yesterday night I reached book 3. Look, if my phone oh my god. Get out. This room is cat free, so you're safe. Ooh. Oh no. There's another cat full and a cat full. So as I was saying, I have reached book 3, and that is page 391, because I was going to follow the Baron. At the beginning of book 3, I just stopped and went to sleep because it was 2 a.m. and I had no energy for the Baron. But Jessica is now a Reverend Mother, and they all drank spice water and they were all hallucinating together. And according to Shani, if she's too close to him, what was it? It was a bit confusing, not going to lie. When she's very close to him, she also has like visions of the future. And so that's how Frank Herbert made the romance work, I guess, because both of them saw themselves on the future. They had recollections of memories yet to happen, of them being very intimate together and of loving each other. So even though they haven't spent that much time together, they already have that connection. So that's how Insta love works. Or at least that's an excuse for it to work. It doesn't bother me. If we have actual cute moments, and with cute, I mean, if we actually get moments of them being there for each other, then I'm okay with the Insta romance. Oh, I cannot believe this book just did that. They were all hallucinating together, and I am still going to give this 5 stars. Oh, when Paul came, now they are on the siege. They were not on the siege. Like, when I thought they were on the siege, that's not a siege, that's just a cavern. Now they are actually on the siege. And we meet the widow of the man that Paul kills and his 2 sons. And so because Paul killed him, he now is responsible for his family. He had to choose if he wanted the man's wife as a wife or a servant, and he made her a servant. And look, Paul sometimes makes me a bit mad, in the sense that he just came, he doesn't know the Fremen, he's no one to the Fremen. Like, they think he might be the prophet, but they are not 100% sure yet. Yet Paul still behaves like the Duke's son. He is the Duke's son, he is the new Duke, but among the Fremen, he's nobody. He really isn't. He's just another newcomer that they allowed in. But he's not born in Arrakis. He doesn't know their ways. He doesn't belong there yet. He has a Fremen name. He now has like a family in the Fremen community, but he is not really a Fremen. And so he still holds himself as a very important person. I can absolutely understand why. It's not about not understanding why this happens. It's just I don't like how he treats his new servants, the widow of the man he killed. Look, I don't care how important, how rich you are. If you ask someone to do something for you, you ask please, and then you say thank you. It doesn't matter that they are being paid to serve you. You say please and thank you. If you don't, I'm going to get mad at you. And so it's bothering me how he talks to that woman. He's a 15-year-old kid. Chill. Show some respect. You are nobody. You are nobody. Shit. Look, I just can't with rude people, and I understand that Paul is used to be served, right? He's used to just giving orders. Say please and thank you. Just do it. Like, I understand that, but every time he doesn't show respect to that woman, I get a bit... Who do you think you are? I'm going to spend some time reading the next book, drinking my coffee, and I honestly don't know when this is going to get read. I just took a shower. You cannot notice, but the last time I picked this baby up was 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to go to my corner on the sofa to read. So I'm 2 pages into book 3, right? And we are starting with the Baron, right? And he goes to Nephew. Nephew was nominated Captain of the Guards the same night as the Arconans attacked the Arthritis settlement in Arrakis. And so the Baron just walks up to Nephew and asks, "How long have you been my guard's captain, Nephew?" Nephew swallowed. "Since Arrakis, my lord. Almost 2 years." Was there a time jump? There was a time jump. I was not ready for that. Wait. Can you hear the rain? My god. You guys, I just found a typo. Ooh, exciting stuff. So, okay, alright. So, again, Nephew nodded, and did you perchance not see this is the beginning of the Baron talking. A dialogue, that's the word I'm looking for. And there's no
So hello guys, if you are wondering why on earth I'm keeping them on screen, it's because if you ever find that you do not care what I'm talking about, they are always here doing stuff like this. So they are fun. No more explanations needed. Am I right? I have finished Dune, finally. It took me quite a bit because I got into a reading slump at the end of the year, and that lasted like till the beginning of February. I'm not sure what to say about this that I haven't said already. This was a 4.5 read. It was amazing. It's honestly, I talked to my reading buddy about it, and she thinks that the ending was very rushed. And I'm not sure what she means by that. It was actually like, oof. Think about what you are going to say before you say it. Come on. I finished reading this. Reading like 20 pages at a time. That there was a day that I just read 4 pages and I stopped, and I had like 19 pages left, and the last 30 pages, 40 pages, they are actually action-packed. It was just things happening on a row. And whenever I stopped reading in the middle of the action, I thought, oh no, I'm making a very, very grave mistake, because tomorrow when I start reading this again, I'm not going to feel the thrill of the moment because I've stopped in the middle of the action. It actually got me really hyped, even though I had a lot of, it took me like a week to read 20 pages, action-filled pages. I was still able to get in the moment because the writing is just good. I don't know. It's just, this man knew how to write. It's all I have to say. He really did. It was interesting. I felt like it was logical. The things that were happening were logical, which is always good, right? Even though most of this book was not action heavy, you could still... It's not because the author didn't know how to write action. It was great. It was fast-paced. I understood completely what everything meant. You know, when you're reading like a very convoluted battle scene and you get to a point where you don't even understand what's happening? That did not happen. Sometimes you read a book and you go like, yeah, this was like this man's life project. He really spent a lot of time thinking about this, and he just knows everyone through and through. He knows what is going to happen, what needs to happen, and there's also some... So Paul is the Messiah. He's like yeah, a messiah. However, he's not good. He makes the decisions that are the most logical to keep, I was going to say peace, not peace, order in place. Honestly, Paul reminded me of Eren from Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan. He honestly does, in a lot of aspects of what he is to the world. He knows what is going to happen. Is this a spoiler for Attack on Titan? Spoilers for Attack on Titan, I guess. He knows what is going to happen, and he has like an inkling of which decision leads to what ending. And so he chooses the path that benefits his group of people the most. That is not like the best path, it's just the one that benefits, in Paul's case, the Fremen the most. I was talking about how he doesn't want the jihad to happen. If he is the Muad'Dib, and then it's going to happen. Everything is set in motion. There's nothing to prevent. He cannot prevent anything, because the simple fact that he exists as a Fremen leader, that's all you need for it to happen. So he cannot prevent it. And he feels like he has to control everything because he knows what the best decisions are to make, because he can see the future. However, that doesn't mean anything. Basically, just as Eren, Paul sees himself as the savior of these people. However, he is not going to bring peace. The path to freedom, it's one of the things that Fremen want. The path to freedom is not always the path to peace. And Paul is trying to make it a peaceful, as much as possible, future. But that's impossible, because he's creating a revolution led by fanatics. That's what the jihad is. I want to see what's next. I guess I understand why people say that the second book feels like part of the first book, because it's very short. I don't have it, but I know it's very short. And it's basically the ending of this, because the ending is not here. It's not here. So yeah, I will be reading that. I don't know when, but I will be reading that at some time in my life. Just not now, because I'm reading some other stuff now. And yeah, it was 4.5 because the writing was amazing. It was very atmospheric. I really felt everything that was going on. It was smart. It was a lot. And the reason why it was not a 5-star was because there were some things about it that I didn't vibe with it. One of them was actually like this whole speech kind of degrading this woman, Princess Irulan, who is going to marry Paul, but he will never love her. No. All right, man, chill. It was a bit aggressive. It really was. It made me uncomfortable while I was reading it. And then when I finished reading it, I was a bit like thinking about it, you know? And the more I think about it, the more uncomfortable I feel. Also, the Baron was like disgusting. He really was disgusting. Just everything that is considered wrong and evil by the author is present in the Baron. There were certain things that only the Baron showed like some characteristics. For example, I don't want to say that he likes men, because he doesn't like men, he likes little boys. And he was the only fat character. So those two things are equivalent to villainous traits. And it just makes me a bit like, and you can say all you want about this was written last century, I don't care, it's still there. There's no harm in saying that certain things were wrong. They were. And if you are equalizing being fat and being homosexual to being a villain, I can say I do not like that. It makes me uncomfortable. That being said, yeah, I still hate the dude because he was just fucking disgusting. He was very disgusting. I mean, he's a pedo. It doesn't matter, like, to which gender he goes to. It doesn't matter. He's a... he's just everything. Yeah, exactly. I want to say he's everything that's wrong with humanity, but that's in those characteristics that make him everything that's wrong with humanity. There's gluttony and homosexuality, and you are not evil for those. You know what I mean? It's just very small things that are not explicitly said on the book. There's no quotation that I can make for you. Like, I cannot show you any quotation where you can obviously see that the author equalized homosexuality with evilness. I cannot. It's just, I can feel it in the subtext. I can feel it there. And it makes me uncomfy. It just does. And so I brought it down a bit, because otherwise it would be a 5-star book. Because of those two traits of the Baron, and because of that last speak about Irulan, it made me like, girl did nothing to you, man. She never hurt you nor your people in any way. Can you please, like, chill for a bit? Just chill out. Chill. So yeah, I will be reading the second book. I actually do recommend this. It was the first... No, it wasn't. It was... I don't really read sci-fi, and this surprised me. It was a very, very nice read. I loved it. So yeah, I do recommend, if you like very political books. This book does not rely on action to move forwards. It does not rely on romance to keep you hooked. It's very political and really likes to show you logic. Like, the logic behind every decision that is made. And I like that. If you do not like that, you will not like this book. Speaking of Attack on Titan fans, I actually think this is good for certain Attack on Titan fans. If your favorite parts of Attack on Titan were the parts where they were talking about the politics, so like 3rd season part 1, and like, you liked the action, you liked Eren fighting Annie in the 1st season, like, that was interesting, but the best part is just when they are trying to understand, like, who is this person that's betraying us? If you really, really, really like 3rd season part 2, I mean, who doesn't like that season? Forget about it. If your favorite part on the 4th season part 1 was the beginning, where you were just living in another reality and trying, like, to understand the different cultures and how they looked at each other in a different way because of their upbringing, and you actually like Gabby. I like Gabby. I know, I like Gabby. If your favorite parts of Attack on Titan were the politics and trying to understand how the war is going to be fought without a war. And you are seeing the rumbling coming, and you are like, I do not want this to happen, actually. I mean, get some sense in this man's head, then you will like this. There is no Armin in here. I think it would be great to have an Armin character in here. We do not, though. Jessica was for a bit, but she at the end I kind of stopped liking her all that much. So I was talking about this, and I started talking very passionately about Attack on Titan. I am so sorry, except I don't really care. If that sounds terrible, that sounds awful, yeah, just go watch the movie. The movie was amazing. The movie was honestly amazing. They do not talk about certain stuff that, I mean, I understand and I'm not mad about it. I'm very interested to know how on earth they are going to make that like mental orgy work. You know, when they are drinking the spice water and they kind of all hallucinate together, I always thought like that kind of sounds like an orgy, but there's no sexual element to it. And later on the book, Paul describes it as having, and he mentions that there was some kind of sexual movement. I don't know, it's just weird. And I was like, so you agree? You had a mental orgy with the Fremen. You did. With your mother and your sister on her womb. You all had a big orgy. That was a mental orgy. I do not know. I do not know. It's like one of those things I don't really understand, but I don't think I can understand. It's not meant to be understood. It's just bizarre. So I intended to finish this review like 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I just keep on talking because I do not know when to shut up. If you have stayed here until the end, I applaud you. I wouldn't. See you next time.